All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Readers. We're going to take a look at GTII and look really quickly. Every single video I say, hey, if you disagree with anything I got to say, throw it in the comments because I'm not perfect. And hey, I'm really glad Andrew did what he did, right? I didn't put too much emphasis on this 220 line. I really didn't. I kind of assumed we were going to go down. I'll go back to HUSA and kind of show you why. I think I got it wrong if I had to guess, but man, end of the day, good things happen over the 8 and the 20, and I think this chart's a good reminder of that. So I think I was putting a little too much focus on the moving average cluster, but again, I always say it, I am not perfect, all right? So we'll go a little deeper into the details, and then I definitely messed up my video talking about the Friday drop. So I think I'm going to end this with that real quick. I'll probably remake that because I actually really enjoyed making that video, and I was so stupid I put an 11-second video. But again, whatever. Real quick, before we get into the details of what are we going to do today, same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how things are setting up. We have our 5 moving averages. There's only one down here, but I do draw horizontal support and resistance lines as manually, sorry. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please like and subscribe, it does really well with the YouTube algorithms. But even if you don't, just thank you so much for watching these, all right? You can be doing way better things with your time, and I appreciate you being here, all right? All right, let's get into it. And look, what I want to do is, I've been flashing this one, right? HUSA. I talk about the horizontal clusters a lot. And really, this is what I was focusing on. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. Give me a sec. Okay, so what I'm always worried about when you see all 5 moving averages the way we do, just stacked, it can very quickly go up, just monster candle, good confirmation, even better confirmation. That's not a horrible, it's not a good one, but it's not horrible, right? You still get all this and then you end up coming back, right? And it actually looks like the 8's going up and the 20's going up, all right? So this right here is what I think messed me up with GTII. What happened? Oh yeah, okay. And I think the difference actually is the fact that the 8 and the 20 are actually above the cluster. It does look like these two lines want to keep going up while the rest of the cluster either actually comes up with it or, you know, I don't know what the hell this 100 line's doing. But yeah, I think that might be the difference. Ultimately, look, we've just broken the top of this candle, right? That's really important because as I zoom out, what does that put us? Ah, come on, get out of here. That puts us literally on these two next. These are the only things that are stopping us at this point, right? So assuming tomorrow looks good, I mean, we really should actually hit 270. Now, are we going to break 270? I don't know. And one more time, that 240 that I called out, we still actually haven't broken it, right? It's actually 237. So 237, which is the top of this weekly, still hasn't broken, all right? So way more credit to this 220 line than I for sure put. But my fears of that 240 line from last video, I think are still somewhat relative. But I think that's where I'm going to be setting my alert, all right? 230. If it's 237, let me go to 238. Let's break it by a penny. I'd like to know if we break 238 because, again, 238 to 270 is not that bad a flip. You're bringing in, I think that's about 10% at least, right? We're adding more than 20% or 20 cents, right? So, yeah, that's an easy 10% swing. And then, obviously, if 270 breaks, that's when things can actually get really nice. Maybe this 370 becomes the next number, but we'll draw that after we break 270. But yeah, I'm super happy we cracked this line, the top of this candle. I'm super happy that this wasn't some like insignificant doji. Look, I see the little wicks here, but that's a big enough candle. We went several cents up, right? It's not like one of these where it was a very insignificant move, right? So I'm not calling this a doji by any means, even though we have little baby equal wicks, right? That's a good confident candle. And again, I really do love getting on over this. And man, just one more time, the 8 looks like it wants to keep going up. The 20 looks like it wants to keep going up. The 50 actually looks like it wants to keep going up. Good things happen when all the lines go up, and man, really good things happen as you ride the 8 and the 20. So where are we on the weekly? I know I flashed it real quick when I showed this. So, I mean, we're a couple days in and we're actually still over this day, which is great. Again, this is where that line came from. Again, it's not really worth enough to make a line because I do want to keep my 271, but don't forget this 237 number, all right? There's still a chance that we fall back. Look, I'm more than happy saying I was wrong right here. I thought we were going to go up and come back into the cluster. I still really need one more good confirmation to like actually believe. I don't know. Call me a little too like risk averse. I don't know what the word is, right? But I still want one of these level obviously one of these, right? But give me a good big candle that takes me up, takes me away from these like lower lines. That helps the 8 and the 20 go just a little higher up, and I think I'd feel more comfortable. And I really think that number is the two. I would love to just destroy 237 and run all the way to 270. I think that's kind of what I need to sincerely believe that this cluster's gone. Because end of the day, we're still a stone throw away from all 5 lines. I'm glad it's not HUSA tight. I don't need to go back to it. You know what it looks like. But just look at the weekly, right? That's 4 lines that are super, super tight, and it's going to need a couple weeks just to get the 20 to start curving up too, right? Let alone the 8. The 8's flat as hell. Look at that thing. It's almost completely parallel, right? So, yeah, I think a little bit more needs to happen to make this weekly look as good as this daily. But yeah, it seems like the daily's at least doing okay. And, you know, there's also this other thing where like the horizontal cluster goes up and then reclusters here and then goes up. Like that's another pattern I've seen often. But again, so far so good to say the least, all right? And I'm really hoping tomorrow's the big candle. So not too much more to talk about here. So this is what I'm going to do for the next half of the video, all right? I'm really big on talking about the daily and the weekly. The way I trade is days. Like I have a full-time job. I don't always have the luxury of trading like every minute or every hour, okay? What I want to show is the 15-minute chart, and I'm going to take us back to Friday. So hold on, I got to get a calendar because I don't really remember. What day was Friday? The 24th. Okay, so we're going to go to the 24th. All right, we're going to go to 27, 24. Okay, so I'm going to zoom it just a little bit more and then just a little bit more. Okay, beautiful. All right, let's actually take it to here. Cool. So one more time, we're on the 15-minute chart using the exact same moving averages. Look, these moving averages work on the minute, the 15, the hour, the daily, the weekly, the 9-day, the monthly, the quarterly, the yearly, the, you know, whatever you want to use in between, right? Like that's what I like about these. It gives you an impartial view. One really big thing, I have lost personally good money doing this, is making minute or hourly decisions when I'm a day trader. That's kind of the definition of FOMO right there. You know, like something pops really quickly, you see it on your phone, you're like, oh my God, what do I do? What do I do? Let's jump in, and then it crashes, right? You made a move that was more for this 15-minute chart than it was for the daily or the weekly or however you actually trade based on your time, right? So hopefully that made sense right there, and it's a really, really important thing. The one thing I want to say though, look at this thing. It acts exactly like most moving averages do, right? Once you break all 5 moving averages, you end up flying. All we're doing is bouncing on the 8. We'll lose it here, but bounce on the 20, lose it here, but not horrible confirmation and actually go back up and keep going up, right? And then here's what happens on the 24th. All right. And again, just keep in mind, someone also said it in the comments, right? This thing made a fat run. All right, like you got to imagine there's going to be some sort of cool off coming, right? But on the 24th, the reason we didn't keep going is not because of stock manipulation or like short attacks. I hate stuff like that. I really do. Ooh, something broke. I hope that wasn't my cat. Oh man, I don't know if you guys heard that in the background. I don't hear my wife getting mad. Okay, hopefully no kitties are in trouble. Nonetheless, the moral of the story is once you lose the 8, And once you lose the 20, you fall to the 50, regardless if it's in the 15-minute or the hourly or the daily or whatever it is, right? But yeah, all that happens is we lose key moving averages and just keep dropping hard. Luckily, this bad boy right here caught it, right? And again, I actually didn't think it was going to happen. I actually kind of thought it was, and that's actually what I would have said on that video, except it didn't keep going, right? But yeah, the 220 line was so much stronger than I expected. We definitely saw it on the daily. I don't have to go through the rest of it, but this is what I was trying to show. There's no such thing as stock manipulation or like short attacks. That's I don't believe in it. I shouldn't say that I shouldn't be as definitive as I was, but yeah, I believe moving averages give you a good, real, unbiased story. So hey, I appreciate your time so much. You know that. Please subscribe if you can. It makes me smile and it helps the algorithms. Thank you.